Hello, my name is Natalie Dowzicky, and today we are here with Isabel Wilkerson, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist and best-selling author. Thank you for being here with us today.
Well, it's great to be here with you.
So for our first question, in both your reporting and your book, you have taken an ethnographic approach to journalism. What draws you to this method?
Well, I think the goal of what I do, which is narrative nonfiction, is to put the reader or the audience into the hearts and minds of the person I'm writing about, so that you get a chance to actually experience what they're going through. And it's a way of understanding circumstances or a part of history that you wouldn't be able to really understand or be able to absorb in any other way.
What inspired you throughout those 15 years of research?
There were so many places, there's so many things that inspired me. I mean, it was this massive story that wasn't told from the perspective of the people who lived it. The people were getting up in years, and so it was really important for me to get out there and to find them before it was too late. And then once I found narrowed it down, I interviewed over 1,200 people to narrow it down to ultimately 3. Once I got to know them, and once I, sort of entered their lives and began to experience with them life as they had lived it, I began to really feel a connection to them, and they kind of powered me through, because once they had taken the chance to entrust me with their stories, and that's a tremendous responsibility, and I wanted to live up to that. Right. One of the interesting things is that one of the people that I interviewed, or actually that's not even the correct word, one of the people that I spent time with and got to know in the process of doing this book, his name was George Starling, and he at one point he said, if you don't finish this book, I'm going to be proofreading from heaven. That's how much time we ended up spending with each other, and it turned out that he was right. He didn't live to see the book come out, but he was letting me know that, he believed that it was possible, and he wanted it to come out. He wanted this to be told. He wanted the story to be told.
During your 1,200 interviews as part of the research, are there any interviews besides the ones that you've already talked about that are your experiences, as you like to call them more, that really stuck out to you or have a lasting impact?
I talked to a lot of people, heard lots of stories. Once I narrowed it down to the 3, then of course, as I've said, I spent a lot of time with each one of them. With Ida Mae, I think probably one of the more memorable experiences was going back to Mississippi, which is where she was from and where her family had journeyed out to get to Chicago. And we went back the exact same time of the year that she had left, she with her family had left, which was around the time that the cotton was completed being picked. And so we were driving down this dusty, isolated, back road, and there on both sides of us were these fields of cotton. And there was no one out there. It was very isolated, just the cotton was out there, rows and rows, acres and acres as far as the eye could see. And when she saw it, something was activated in her. It triggered some memory, and she decided, she said, well, stop the car, let's go out and walk in the cotton, let's go pick some. And I was, thinking to her, I said, well, this cotton belongs to somebody. And, we are in Mississippi. I don't know how, how that's going to work. But she said, oh, they won't care what little bit we'll pick. And so we went out into the cotton, and she had hated picking cotton when she was growing up there. She had hated picking cotton when she was a sharecropper, and this was the only way that they could manage to, feed their family. But now that she was free of it, and now that she was sort of returning, having lived out her life, and seeing a familiar setting, she couldn't wait to get out there and pick it and show me how.
While you were writing more, did you know or even have a feeling that it would be very successful?
When you're working on something like this, especially, 15 years, and so you're in year 9, and all you want to do is just to power through and finish, because you feel this, this tremendous responsibility to get this out. You can't even think beyond just the next screen full of text that you're trying to get done. There's no way that I could have anticipated what the reception would be. I just hoped that it would find an audience. I hoped that people would appreciate the work that went into it. And more importantly, I hoped that they would fall in love with these people, or at least see themselves in these people and be willing to go on the journey with them. And that is what has happened.
Well, thank you for spending time with us for a little bit today, and good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.